asks, what is
What is Vloggerhouse?
Stop.
What is Vloggerhouse? What is this Vloggerhouse?
I'm gonna punch you. Stop.
Hello friends, welcome to LeggLife. In today's video we are doing something that we have never done here before and I'm super excited about because I've wanted to make one of these videos for a long time. We are doing a Q&A video where we A your Q's. So we put, it's a little weird, but just go with it, Sherry. So we put out questions to you guys on the LeggLife Facebook page, on Twitter.
On our personal
Facebook pages. So you guys responded much larger than I thought you would.
We got some good questions.
We have 21 questions. Now, Sherry, some people asked multiple questions, right?
Right, so we did have a lot of people ask multiple questions. We tried to pick at least one from everybody that asked a question, so we may not answer every question you asked, but we will answer at least one from everybody.
Hopefully we don't miss anybody. If we missed you,
sorry.
It's not intentional. Ready to get going?
Yep.
Here we go. Question number 1.
So this is from Melissa on Facebook. She asks if we have any trips to Disneyworld in Orlando in the future.
Yep, we actually have a trip planned to Disney World in October of 2018.
With my sister and brother-in-law and their 2 sons, and we're stoked. It's going to be so much fun.
So we've never gone, you know, we go to Disney trips with just us because we don't have kids. Yeah. So this will be the first Disney trip
we get to take our nephews
with kids. So we're pretty excited about that. So our next question is from Erin on Facebook. Erin went super deep with her question. She asked, what do you do to find calm in a chaotic world? Difficult to answer this in a short amount of time, but obviously our world, it feels like it's getting crazier and crazier and crazier. So number 1, I'm going to give you from our worldview. Like Sherry and I, we've shared this on our vlog before, like we are Jesus followers, we're Christians, and so for us, in our faith, we find peace in the fact that this world isn't the end for us. Right? Like we believe that Jesus has overcome the world and we can take heart because of that. So the calm and craziness in the world for us is kind of just a speed bump because we don't believe that this world is it. Like, you know, we are just passing through. So for us, we find calm in that. I would say that if I didn't have a kind of religious worldview like that, I think you'd probably try to do things that are calm and relaxing, whether that's meditation or yoga or those kind of things that just, you know, for a moment in the middle of chaos, you just stop and just like breathe, right? Just like slow down, breathe, things are gonna be okay. But for us, in our faith, even in the midst of chaos, we have hope. And there's nothing more peaceful than that.
And the next question is gonna be not so deep from Ronnie on Facebook. He asks, toilet paper over or under?
Over.
Over.
If you put toilet paper under, you just like to cause chaos and divisiveness.
You like to hurt my heart.
Yeah, that's absurd. Nobody really likes toilet paper under.
I'm the person who, if it's under, I will switch it.
Switch the role.
I will.
If you invite us to your house and the toilet paper is coming from under, when we leave, it will be from over.
It will. Yeah.
We've made your life better.
You're welcome.
You're welcome. Next question comes from Joseph on Facebook. He says, do you or Sherry have any tips for creative people or artworks?
Creative projects.
Creative projects or artworks. I would say, first of all, it's kind of a really broad question because some of that would have to say, well, what are the artistic mediums that you love? So number 1, what are the things that you love? That's what I'd say. I'll give you a little insight into something we're going to be doing on Sherry's Life channel. It's kind of a new, kind of cool creative project. We're talking about doing like Transformation Tuesdays. You know, we do these repurposed projects, right? Where we take something that's kind of old and junky and make something new and awesome. And so we're going to start doing like thrift shop. Like go to thrift shop, Sherry has to buy something and then document the process of making it new.
Yeah, making something cool.
So just stuff like that. I mean, what are the artistic mediums you love? Get creative with that and do that.
Also, here's a tip, and this I learned from my good friend Melissa. She says never be afraid to make bad art because and that's really, I'm learning kind of how to watercolor with her, and it's all bad. It's all bad. Like, she's phenomenal, I am not. But it's fun, and it's a good way to just do it, and then you'll get better. So I think,
don't be afraid to try something new. It's art, right? Like, it's like creating. If you start with nothing and you make something, even if that something is really crappy, you've made something. Like, you have created.
Right.
So just do it.
Don't be afraid to make bad art.
It's good advice.
Yeah. Thanks, Melissa.
Next question comes from Shane on Facebook. Pretty good question. Does Sherry have a tendency to pluck Adam's ear hair and eyebrows? If so, do all wives have that addiction? Yes. Yes, I think they do.
Not so much the ear hair,
No.
because I get yelled at.
And
when I
my
do
barber
that.
trims my ear hair.
I trim his beard.
Yep. My eyebrows. You guys,
his
I have, like, these are like caterpillars. Look at
out of
how
control.
huge they are. And so, like, this, like, these two caterpillars want to mate. Let's be very honest. And, like, it gets, like, all up here. So, yes, Sherry will attack me
Get out
with
my little
tweezers.
He lays down in our bed and just...
Also, it hurts so bad.
He's kind
Like,
of a pansy.
no,
I mean, girls, like... We deal with this
I have big
all
manly,
the time.
I have big manly follicles at the end of my hairs.
Okay.
Oh, man.
I know. So Brent on Facebook asks, how did we meet? This one we're actually not going to answer because we plan on doing a vlog about this. We actually planned on doing it in Paris and then we got rained out. So we are still going to do this. We will answer this question and it's super cute.
Our love story vlog coming soon to a
tuned.
LeggLife YouTube channel near you. So Brent killed it with questions. His next question is another one we are not going to answer though, because it's so good we want to do another video about it. He said, what are your top 3 Disney World tips for those going to Disney World? I love that question. We're going to make a vlog specific to that right here on our channel.
Yes.
So Brent's third and final question from Facebook, Sherry, what was or has been the biggest struggle in transitioning to living in Alaska?
I think not being near my family, my nephews and my niece, that's been hard because I would love to be like super involved in their life, and through FaceTime it's just not really the same. But yeah, I think that's probably the hardest thing. Everything else has not been bad. Like, it's not hard to live here. And then Tanya on Facebook asks what current favorite books we're enjoying.
So I'm reading a book, John Grisham, called Camino Island. We just bought it recently. I think it just came out. And I'm just 7 or 8 chapters into it, and I am absolutely loving this book.
Trying to get him into John Grisham because I think he would love John Grisham.
I've read
he's read his sports books.
Which I love. Love sports books.
But he hasn't read any of the mystery ones, and they're so good.
So, Camino Island, thumbs up, Mr. Grisham.
I am currently reading The Blood Pines by Matthew Beers, who is a personal friend of ours, and it was just published, and if you haven't heard of it, you need to go check it out because it's really good. I'm about 3/4, a little more of the way through, and it's really good.
If Matt was not a friend of ours, would you still like this book?
Yes, it's a really good book. So
what we're going to do is we're going to put an Amazon link below. Go check out Matt's book. Also, a little YouTube fact. Matt and I co-hosted a YouTube channel called Hot Button Hashtags.
go check that out too.
No, don't go check that out. Stay on LeggLife. Don't. Matt doesn't need more subscribers. Next question, please. Next question comes from Judy on Facebook. Who are your favorite Disney characters and why?
Well, I can't answer this one because I like them all.
Baymax. I like them all. Baymax because I think that he's amazing. And also I think that he is very much underrated
It is true.
in the Disney characters. Yeah. Team Baymax.
And next, Kara on Twitter asks, what is your favorite flavor of ice cream?
Mine is probably a peanut butter chocolate combination. Anything with peanut butter, anything with chocolate, I'm pretty much in.
Cookie dough.
I thought you were going to say mint chocolate chip, actually.
I do really like mint chocolate chip, though, too.
That was a curveball. I thought for sure Sherry was going to say mint chocolate chip, and then you were like, cookie dough. I'm like, who do I don't even know you? So we have another question from Aaron on Twitter. What one thing would you change about your religion? Another deep question from her. I'm going to try not to preach. But here's what I would say. I would say, and it doesn't have to do with Christianity necessarily, because there's nothing I would change about that. What I would change is about the application, largely in Western societies. So John 15:5 says, I am the vine, you are the branches. Any man who stays connected to me will bear much fruit. Apart from me, you can do nothing. And so, but what we have made Christianity to be is this performance religion, that in order to be a Christian, my job is to go to church and to give money and to pray and to help people. And like, as I do these things, like I earn these extra like Christian jewels, and somehow if I do enough of them, I become like this better, like almost like Jesus kind of person. But like that is so opposed to the gospel. Like we have made Christianity so performance-based and so like you have to do this checklist of things. Whereas like in John 15:5, it says like, I'm the vine, you're the branches, stay connected to me.
All we have to do is hang out with Jesus.
That's the thing. Like, the role of Christians
That's all.
is to abide with Jesus, to stay connected with Jesus. And the thing is as you do that, fruit is produced. So as you abide in Christ, things like prayer, things like church attendance, things like generosity and self-control, and all the fruits of the Spirit, those things happen in your life, not because you've produced them, because that's what Christians do, but because you've stayed connected to Jesus. That's what Christians are supposed to do.
Take a deep
Oh
breath.
my gosh. That is what I would change. I would like to see more people staying connected to the person of Jesus, abiding in Christ, and less people trying to perform because that's what their religion demands of them. That's what Christianity is supposed to be.
Jordan on Twitter asks what our favorite Disney attraction is.
For me, it's Pirates of the Caribbean. Like, I just love that ride. And I get it that it's not like the most fun. It's not the fastest. There's no loops. There's something nostalgic and classic Disney, so that's mine.
Not mine.
Oh.
I think Ratatouille in Disneyland Paris is my new favorite.
It was
It
spectacular.
was amazing.
It was so good. Next question comes from Joel on Twitter. Joel asks, if money and time was no object, where would you want to go on vacation?
Everywhere.
Yeah. Like, I really do think for us, this is an impossible question to ask.
Like, really, if money and time was no object, like, that's literally our only obstacle right now from not going everywhere
We'd go to
all the time.
Yeah, if take away time, take away money, we would go everywhere in the world. Like, we'd see every country, we'd experience every culture, taste every food. That's what we do. So, go everywhere in the world.
All the places.
All of the places. Next question comes from Real World Travelers on Twitter. They asked, what is the weirdest/strangest thing that you've ever eaten?
This is a hard one for me because
I'm not very
adventurous when it comes to food. When I moved up here, I was strictly a steak and potatoes kind of girl. Midwest, all the way.
Yeah.
But I've branched out since coming here. I'll eat seafood and sushi and Korean and all kinds of...
So you've had like the fish cakes at the Korean restaurants. You like sushi with like eel on them, that kind of stuff. But like, that's not necessarily strange or weird, but it's probably...
It's not... I mean, it's out there for like Midwest, I think.
Sure.
But it's not really out there for like the rest of the world. So I'm not very adventurous, but he has eaten some interesting things.
Yeah, I think probably the most interesting in Alaska, it's actually not that weird, muktuk.
It's still weird.
So muktuk is the skin and fat of a whale. And so I've eaten that. I ate, blood sausage when we were in Ireland, things like that. So I don't mind trying things that most people probably would shy away from. I think that it's how you experience part of the culture, I guess.
So we already actually answered this question, but Kelly on Twitter asked when we're going back to Disneyworld. See previous question.
Also, another Disney trip, though. You asked specifically about Disneyworld. But in April of 2018... we are going on our next Disney cruise, and while we're there, we're going to Disneyland again.
Yes, we are, because the cruise is out of San Diego.
So in 2018, between May and October, or April and October, we'll do Disneyland, Disney World, and a Disney cruise.
Yeah.
Yes!
And next, River on Twitter asks, what is Vlogger House?
Oh, interesting that you'd ask that. Completely random question, obviously. Maybe you should check out vloggerhouse.com and check it out. Coming to CBX Live in Salt Lake City, Utah, August 3rd through the 5th. Go check it out, vloggerhouse.com. The next question comes from Will and Amanda. They actually asked two questions. They said, number one, were you born and raised in Alaska? And what made you start vlogging? First question, I was not born in Alaska. I was raised here. I was born in Connecticut. Family moved here when I was 3, and I have lived here since.
I was born and raised in Indiana, and I moved here when I was 21.
And then the second part of their question, what made you start vlogging? We actually made a vlog specifically about this that we will link down below for our longer answer. Short answer, though, we live in a world that is super negative. There's like all sorts of bad news all the time. And we wanted to add a little bit of positivity to that, if we can, so that, people who might not have experienced a healthy home life or seen like a healthy marriage, possibly stumble across our channel and for a few minutes each week get to hopefully maybe see something that's more positive and encouraging than what they've experienced before. So for us, it's just a platform for us to live out loud and on purpose, as Shay Carl would say.
And next, Colin on Twitter asked waffles or pancakes and why?
I think we actually agree on this, that if we had to pick one to only eat for the rest of our life, we'd both pick pancakes. Team Pancakes.
Right.
However, one of the things that we talked about was that pancakes feel more like everyday, ordinary, like long-term. That's what you want. Waffles feel fancy.
They're fancy food.
Aren't they? Like, what is it about a waffle that feels fancier than a pancake? I don't know. So for us, pancakes.
Although, here's the thing. And this is why I don't really understand this question or the actual debate about it.
Yeah.
They're literally the same thing. Like, it's the same batter. They're both cooked. They both have butter and syrup on them. It's just how they're cooked.
Oh, you are pissing off so many people right now. There
I know.
are people
I mean,
just
maybe people can like
dislike button.
Maybe you could just explain to me the actual difference between waffles and pancakes because they're the same thing.
Mickey waffles on a cruise ship or at one of the Disney hotels.
I will say Mickey waffles are a step above.
So top of the pyramid is the Mickey waffle. That's where I'd like to live. Question from our friend Mark on Facebook. He said, if corn oil is from corn and olive oil is from olives, what the heck is baby oil from? It's from babies.
Babies?
I don't... Next question. So our final question comes from our friend Markel on Facebook. Markel says, I've never been huge on food adventures, but it seems like you guys are always somewhere that looks amazing. I'd love to know your recommendations for the top 5 places to eat for people who never venture out of their comfort zones.
This is a good question.
Great question.
There's some good places here in Anchorage. But we're not going to answer this. We are actually going to do this on a separate vlog because we figured this could actually be a whole vlog answer.
But Markel, here's my number 1 tip for sure. Number 1, just don't be afraid to try something new. Like, go to someplace new, whether it's if you've never been to like an Indian restaurant or a Korean restaurant, use the people who work there, like, for the answer. Like, ask them. Be honest with them. Like, they work there. They know the food really well. Say, you know what? I've never had Indian food before. What would you recommend I start with? And
don't be afraid to give, like I don't like spicy. And I will just tell them what is something that is not spicy at all that's good.
Yep.
Like, what's your favorite not spicy item on the menu?
That's it. Try new things and then use the knowledge of the staff to help you find something that is delicious. I will say, discovering great food that you've never had before is amazing.
It's super fun.
So thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you to everyone who asked questions. We certainly did not expect to have 21 questions.
Yep, and there were some good ones.
Our first Q&A. You guys crushed it. If you have not subscribed to our channel, we would love to have you subscribe. Follow along to our journey. Give this video a thumbs up, and we will see you guys on Monday with our next vlog.